501. There is a supernatural soul in the universe, and this supernatural soul is the greatest creator. 502. About the greatest creator. Everything comes from its source. The greatest creator is the ultimate source. Life has levels. The greatest creator is at the highest level. Everything is in motion. The greatest creator is the ultimate driving force of all motions. The universe is in order. The greatest creator is the designer of the order. Everything has spirit. The greatest creator is the ultimate source of all spirits. 503. Wuji gives birth to Taiji, and Taiji is the greatest creator. Taiji came into being naturally, so nature and the greatest creator are one and the same. 504. The greatest creator has 8 features. 1. Uniqueness. 2. Formlessness. 3. Neutrality. 4. Mystery. 5. Impartiality. 6. Mercy. 7. Supreme powerful. 8. Absolute wisdom. 505. The greatest creator is the supreme leader of the universe, the master of all gods, the nerve center of the universe, the core of energy, the cradle of life, the birthplace of wisdom, the creator of the universe and of life, the driving force of the universe, the energy center of the universe, the sweet spring in the desert, the beacon in the dense fog, the ancestor of Buddha, Allah, Grand Brahma, and heaven. 506. The greatest creator is not a god. There are many gods in the universe, but the greatest creator is exclusive. 507. Jesus Christ is not the greatest creator but a god. 508. Our relationship with the greatest creator is the most fundamental of all human relationships. 509. The greatest creator never communicates with individuals directly with human languages. All things are the greatest creator's language. Ever-changing phenomena are the greatest creator's words to humans. People capable of understanding the book without words are having dialogues with the greatest creator. 510. The greatest creator never records his will with words or enters anyone's mind to grant them special instructions or edifications. He never tests or inspects anyone, neither does he worry that some deity or demon might usurp his authority. He never judges anyone. 511. Where is the greatest creator? The essence of the greatest creator is in the zero world, but the spirit of the greatest creator pervades everything throughout the universe. Where is the zero world? The zero world is the point of zero in the universal coordinate system through which x, y, and z axes all must pass. The 20 parallel worlds are all connected to the 0 point. As a result, the greatest creator exists simultaneously in all 20 parallel worlds. Without the greatest creator, none of them would exist. 512. All spiritual wisdom originates from, and all glory remains with the greatest creator. 513. It is Tao that governs the universe and keeps the orderly operation of everything. Tao is the consciousness and the magical power of the greatest creator. 514. The way of nature is the way of the greatest creator. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature. 515. The way of the greatest creator has 8 major meanings. 1. The universe is the product of the consciousness of the greatest creator. 2. Everything comes into being as a result of creation. 3. Everything runs in the consciousness of the greatest creator, Tao. 4. Demonstrate our nature and act by conforming to nature. 5. Revere and emulate the greatest creator. 6. Reality is the portrayal of life's free consciousness. 7. Happiness, joy, freedom, and blessings are the themes of life. 8. Everything is but a game. 516. The essence of the way of the greatest creator is nature, refers to the intrinsic nature of things, love, and Tao. Nature is the feature of structure, love is the feature of energy, Tao is the feature of consciousness. 517. The core of the way of the greatest creator is to reap what you have sown. If you want to eat cucumbers, then you must sow cucumber seeds in the field. In this way, you will undoubtedly reap cucumbers but not watermelons or pumpkins. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature, therefore, you can undoubtedly reap melon from melon seeds and reap beans from bean seeds. If you deviate from this, you may reap beans from melon seeds or the reverse. To be less abstract, in the fields of selfishness, greed, jealousy, resentment, ignorance, fatuity, and trickery, no matter what seeds you sow, they will always mutate into the wrong kinds of plants. Reap beans from melon seeds, or reap melons from bean seeds. It is only in the fields of kindness, honesty, credibility, and unselfishness that you can reap what you have sown. In order to do that and realize your dream, you must follow the way of nature. Deviating from it will cause hope to become desperation and comedy to become tragedy. 5:18. The way of the greatest creator is broad and profound with extremely abundant intentions and extensions. It transcends time and space and governs everything. It is so extensive that there is no exterior and so narrow that there is no interior. Everything runs in it and it changes everything and governs the universe. The way of the greatest creator is the way of light, the way of creation, the way of life, the way of love, the way of freedom, the way of happiness, the way of magic, the way of holographic order. 5:19. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature, so humans should comply with and harness the power of nature, while neither conquering nor reforming it. 5:20. There was only one coincidence in the universe, the birth of the greatest creator. All things other than that are matters of inevitability. Inevitability is the order of the universe and the order of the universe is inevitability. The universe is unified harmoniously by Tao. Tao is law and principle. Everything within the scope of law and principle is inevitable. There are absolutely no coincidences. So-called coincidences are links in the chain of inevitability. (521) There is no final judgment because judgments are being rendered continuously. What judges life is not the greatest creator, gods, Buddha, or Hades, but Tao, the consciousness of the greatest creator. Tao operates every moment without pause. 522 Letting all lives live happily, joyously, freely and blessedly is the original purpose of the greatest creator's creation and remains his will. 523 Understanding, revering, and believing in the greatest creator and following his way are the preconditions for our conscience to develop. One who has no greatest creator in their mind will be unable to develop their conscience, it will die out. We can even say that such a person has no conscience and is a heartless, unruly troublemaker. Following the way of the greatest creator is the fundamental prerequisite and guarantee for the entire mankind and each individual to lead a happy life. 524 Anyone who wants to become, or thinks they can become, the greatest creator is an incarnation or representation of Satan. Anyone who instigates others to attempt to become the greatest creator is a representative or an accomplice of demons. 525 Soul power is the highest level of energy in the universe. All soul power comes from the greatest creator. As long as we continue to believe in and follow the way of the greatest creator, we will have no shortage of soul power. Essence and spirit are energies second only to soul power. The energy of essence mainly comes from the nimbus between heaven and earth, and this nimbus includes the energy brought to man by everything in nature, namely, the energy given to man by all the beauty of nature and the energy of carbohydrates converted from food. The energy of spirit mainly comes from the level of consciousness. It is a structural energy, a program energy, a belief energy, and can even be generalized as the energy of Tao. 526 All those who regard their reverence to the greatest creator as the faith of their lives and perceive the profundity of Tao with their souls, and all those who pursue supreme authentic wisdom and strive to achieve the highest realm of life, are leading spiritual lives. In order to attain a spiritual life, one needs to listen to the teachings of Jesus Christ and take the way of the greatest creator by following Jesus' instructions. 527. Why should we take the way of the greatest creator? Because we can only get to higher life spaces via revering and walking on the way of the greatest creator. Without revering the greatest creator and walking on his way, we can only hover in a certain space or slide into lower spaces, but we can never ascend to higher spaces. 528. The way of the greatest creator is the road to happiness, joy, freedom, and blessing. You are to keep a peaceful and joyous inner mind whether you are in prosperity or adversity or even facing desperation or death. Be convinced that the greatest creator is perceptive of the minutest detail in everything and is definite about punishments and rewards, and be brave enough to have the greatest creator take charge of your life and have Tao manage your life. 529. All things created by the greatest creator are arranged in clearly defined layers. As human beings, as long as we obey the arrangement of the greatest creator, keep to our duty strictly, and advance along the trajectory of human nature, we will have unregretful lives, no matter whether we are prosperous or in adversity, or in brightness or darkness. 530. Even gods, Buddha, celestial beings, monsters, demons, and goblins are powerless before the greatest creator. So on our road of life and life, everything will give way to us and cannot harm us as long as we cling tightly to his hand. "531. The greatest creator does not decide anyone's destiny. Everyone's destiny is ultimately brought about by themselves and is the result of their consciousness. 532. Understanding things is not for the sole purpose of enjoying and living harmoniously with them. What is more important is to make use of them to serve us and to broaden our scope of free activity to the greatest extent. Following the way of the greatest creator does not mean to endure hardships and sufferings, but to enjoy life and obtain more happiness and pleasure to the greatest extent. 533. Great love is like a mountain and is wordless. The greatest creator's love for us is constant, eternal, and has never been expressed in any human language. If conditions are attached to love, if it needs to be repaid, or if it needs to be expressed in words, then such love is only small love, not great love. 534. Why should we be in awe of the greatest creator? The greatest creator is the supreme sovereign king of the universe, the creator of life, and the guardian of equity and order. Without the greatest creator, there would be no universe, no mankind, no God or Buddha. So should we not be in awe? Only if we feel awed, can we do whatever we desire to, but not go against his rules. Only if we feel awe, can we obey the objective law and act by conforming to nature. Only if we feel awed, can we understand that there are divinities watching over us so that we dare not harbor evil ideas or conduct misdeeds. Only if we feel awed, can we live in harmony with nature, beings, and everything, instead of doing whatever we want, including the butchering of beings. Awe and respect derive from feelings of gratitude, humility, passionate love for life, and heartfelt esteem for the Creator and the Governor. 535. If we do not follow the way of the greatest Creator, then we can barely solve the problems of life. If we do not sublimate the quality of our lives, then we cannot have great lives. 536. The way of the greatest creator is neither of private ownership nor of public ownership, but of non-ownership. Resources are shared but occupied by none. Everyone uses resources as they need them, but nobody occupies or accumulates them. It is only in this way that the human world can become an ideal land and those beautiful dreams of mankind can be realized. 537. Man proposes and God disposes. That is to say, one's success in achieving something and realizing certain wishes and ideals relies 30% on individual diligence and 70% on God. In this sense, God means the greatest creator, Tao, the program, good timing, geographical convenience, harmonious human relations, and nature. Human wisdom and human endeavors are both very limited. If time and geographical positions are not favorable, then you cannot achieve anything no matter how much effort you exert. 538. By following the way of the greatest creator, you can disengage yourself from the abyss of misery and arrive directly at the most ideal realm of life. You can connect with the origin of the universe and enjoy the pleasures of life at any time. You can shake off the bondage of time and space and let your thinking and consciousness race freely across the unlimited universe. You can accumulate your merits and virtues and pay back all your debts from all your past lives. You will have a limpid mind and a clear consciousness to realize your dreams. 539. Following the way of the greatest creator is the most convenient, simple, direct, and effective path. By following it, you can dispense with all taboos and need not immerse yourself in daily exploring and searching after Tao, virtue, benevolence, righteousness, courtesy, wisdom, credibility, and technique. You need not chant scriptures or pray every day, or go to great lengths to cultivate special magical power or techniques. You need not tread great distances to follow the enlightened or engage in serious heated discussions. All you need is to conform to nature. 540. The way of the greatest creator is the way of nature. Everything is accomplished naturally. It is against the Tao of nature to expect to obtain and achieve something as soon as you want it. Melons' pedicels fall when their fruit ripens and channels form when water flows. This is what is meant by nature. Force and compulsion are against nature. Conscious effort should be combined with adherence to the course of nature. Without conscious effort, we can only circle around our original spot and cannot walk out of bewilderment or the 36-8 diagram arrays. Without an attitude and state of mind that adheres to the course of nature, we will certainly feel anxious and contentious, overemphasize effort, and our eagerness for success will backfire. In the end, we may get the opposite of that for which we have wished. 541. For 5,000 years, humans have only had smattering clues of the greatest creator, but without a correct and relatively complete understanding, we could not be in his awe. Without feeling awed, our lives as individuals would be perplexed and doleful, and society as a whole would not be able to eliminate the hidden troubles and establish auspicious and peaceful vital forces in harmony with nature. One can only have a perfect life by following his way. Human beings can only lead themselves out of confusion by doing the same. 542. Walk on the way of the greatest creator but not on the way of gods, because Satan is also a god. 543. The greatest creator is love, sincerity, kindness, beauty, faith, honesty, happiness, joy, freedom, and blessing, and so should we be. The greatest creator, as the name means, is a wonderful creator, and so should we engage in and derive pleasure from labor and creation. The greatest creator per se is selfless dedication, so should we emulate the greatest creator and derive happiness from selfless dedication. 544. Human beings must never say or do things in the name of the greatest creator. 545. The ways to contact the greatest creator are to read the book without words, to meditate, and to pray. 546. If one's life is not smooth, then they must be going against the way of the greatest creator. He will not use suffering and misery to treat those people who walk along his way. No, not at all. If we encounter tribulation and suffering, it is not that the greatest creator is testing us, but that we have deviated from his way. 547. The will of the greatest creator manifests itself through the rules and laws of nature. 548. Those who practice divination, fortune-telling, magical arts, evil arts, or charmers, consulters with familiar spirits, wizards, or necromancers, are all hated by the greatest creator. 549. Do not put the greatest creator to the test. 550. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. 551. Forgive those who have sinned against you and the greatest creator will forgive your sins. If you do not, the greatest creator will not either. 552. Have firm faith in the greatest creator and have no care for tomorrow. 553. Judge not others and you will not be judged, for as you have judged, so shall you be judged, and by your measure will it be measured upon you. When we see others' shortages, we shall consider that we might be uglier and worse than others. 554. Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened to you. 555. All those things which you would have others do unto you, do even unto them. 556. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it, but small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life, and very few ever find it. 557. Guard against false prophets, for they come to you in sheep's clothing but are inwardly ferocious wolves. By their fruits you shall recognize them. 558. Not everyone who calls to Jesus, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those who do the will of the greatest Creator will be so blessed. 559. In the kingdom of the greatest Creator, people do not marry. Only those who do not marry are entitled to enter the kingdom of the greatest Creator. Those who want to marry can never reach the kingdom of the greatest Creator. 560. Faith is truth and love is life. Faith can accomplish everything. Little faith brings about small achievements. Great faith brings about great achievements. Without faith, you will be at loose ends and will achieve nothing. (561) The disciples said, "If this is the situation between husbands and wives, then it is best not to marry." But Jesus said, "Not everyone can accept this word, but only those to whom it has been given, so only the ones who can accept it should do so." 562. For whosoever does the will and walks on the way of the greatest Creator is our spiritual relative. 563. My brother keeps offending me, but I will forgive him 77 times. If we do not forgive others from the bottom of our hearts, then the greatest Creator shall not forgive us. 564. Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. Whoever wants to be first among you must be your slave. 565. Give back to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to the greatest Creator what is the greatest Creator's. 566. The greatest Creator is not for the dead, but for the living. 567. Those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. 568. What goes into a man's mouth does not make him unclean, what comes out of it does. 569. What does it benefit someone to gain the whole world and yet lose his life? What can anyone give in exchange for his life? 570. Love the greatest Creator with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: have love for your neighbor as for yourself. 571. To worship the greatest Creator, you need not go to churches, temples, Taoist abbeys, or mosques. The whole universe and nature are the places for our souls to worship the greatest Creator. 572. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, store up treasures in heaven. For where our wealth is, there will our heart be, and there we will get in future. 573. The realm of our lives will certainly be manifested by what we value. We will live wherever our full consciousnesses are. 574. The sky will not offer rain to a land that is a barren desert. Likewise, heaven will not offer spirituality to a heart that is a barren, spiritual desert. 575. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. 576. Unless we change and become like little children, we will never enter the kingdom of heaven. 577. A man's foes shall be his own household. 578. What is great faith? It is 100% doubtless belief and acceptance. It is having faith in both what you already understand and what you do not yet know. If great faith cannot be established, then we are as water without sources or trees without roots. 579. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, so we must listen to His teachings and follow His guidance. 580. Those who hear the words of Jesus and act upon them will be as the wise one who built a house on a rock, and the rain came down, and there was a flood, and the winds blew, but the house remained because it was based on solid ground. Those who hear the words of Jesus but do not act upon them will be as the foolish one who built a house on quicksand, and the house collapsed with the slightest breeze. (581) do not take an oath because we cannot control changes or developments. Once we fail to hold to oaths, we break our promises, thus we shackle and bind ourselves. 582. Be neither attached nor detached in relationships. 583. The proper amount of affection is good for one's emotions, however, if it is excessive, it becomes toxic and brings troubles and sorrow. 584. People who enjoy more abundant love in their lives have more beautiful souls, they have gentler characters, calmer tempers, and are closer to the greatest creator. They understand more about how to love life, nature, and other people. People who suffer from having less love in their lives have uglier souls, they have venomous characters and more irritable tempers. They are farther from the greatest creator, they know less about life, and have less amount of love towards life, nature, and other people. 585. The lower the level of life, one experiences lesser love. What is hell? A place that is devoid of love is hell. The higher the level of life, one experiences more abundant love. What is heaven? A place that is brimming over with love is heaven. 586. The attitude toward love. Handle naturally come and go relations with no resistance, act according to your nature, take advantage of opportunities that arise, embrace love as it comes and keep a peaceful mind when love goes, never obsess or be infatuated over it, and never attempt to possess or occupy anyone through coercion. Let love develop naturally when both partners share mutual feelings of attraction, never impose your will upon another if you do not resonate with them, and the standard should be that both parties feel happy and joyous. 587. Escape from the whirlpool of human relationships. We are not heartless or unfeeling, but we must not become entrapped by them. As with eating and drinking, we need food and water, but we do not view them as the purpose and significance of our lives. If we waste our entire lives looking for food and water, then there would be no value or significance to being human. In the same way, if we live primarily for our relationships, then we can never climb the mountains and cross the rivers to reach the realm of freedom. 588. Love has its own frequency, but only those who share the same ones will resonate in sympathetic vibration. Love will be found with love. A heart without love cannot find love. To obtain love, you must first understand it, then seek and maintain love with love. Those who lack love cannot feel it from others. 589. Affection, love, sex, and beauty are demonstrations of the most primitive attributes of nature. They are the most precious elements that make up lives. They are the sources of all fun and the most essential motive forces for which we live. In order to enjoy rewarding lives with excellent futures, we need to exert effort on them by melting ourselves into them rather than isolating ourselves from them. When we do that, life will be unusually brilliant with highlights too beautiful to be absorbed all at once, and bubble over with vigor, vitality, and endless enjoyment. When we isolate ourselves from them, it becomes more like the Gobi Desert with utterly dreary cries and screams, dead silence, and an endless sea of tribulations. 590. Sex is a resource, not only a material one, but one of mental and spirit. The resource of sex between men and women is a particular resource which is of even more value and significance than food. This resource can offer these 8 major benefits and pleasures. 1. It makes people placid and gentle. 2. It makes people satisfied and content. 3. It makes people love life and life. 4. It makes people yearn for the future. 5. It guarantees our propagation and continuation. 6. It pleases people and makes them happy and joyous. 7. It allows people to feel grateful. 8. It gives people a taste of the blissful realm. (591) The best way to live is to go with the flow. The best way to associate with others is to follow naturally come and go relations. The best way to achieve tranquility is to accept things as they are. The best state of being is to unite with Tao. The most wonderful affection comes from the intrinsic nature, and the highest love is the love from one's intrinsic nature. 592. exclusive relationships between men and women are ugly phenomena. They are nice from humanity's perspective, but very ugly from celestial beings' perspectives. Similarly, having more than one attached love relationship is also ugly. It is best to take things as they come, associate with others by following naturally come-and-go relations, act in accordance with your natures, and take advantage of opportunities that arise. 593. The love between husbands and wives, and between lovers with exclusive relationships, and the love who pledge solemnly to love eternally and pledge, "For you, I am pining myself away without regret," are all toxic, and falling into toxic relationships can lead to nothing but a painful life. 594. Love and sex can help us achieve our ideals, but they can also ruin us. Broad and extensive love is the quality of life in heaven. Narrow and exclusive love is the character of life in the human world. Scrambling for and possessing sexual resources is the nature of animals. 595. Love and sex are only beautiful embellishments and a spoondrift in life, definitely not the whole of life. 596. True love is selfless. Once selfishness enters your love, you will attempt to possess the other person as your own private property or as an embellishment or accessory, and such love will become extremely ugly by showing the indecency and domineering nature of a slave owner, and the picturesque and noble love will invariably fall into the trap of vulgar taste and no longer emit a flower-like fragrance. 597. Sex is neither a dreadful monster nor a flood. If you let a river flow naturally, it will not become either of those, but if you block the water and do not let it flow naturally, then once the floodgates open or the dam breaks, it will cause devastating floods and becomes a monster. The more repressed sex is, the more violent it will turn, and it will become a dreadful monster or a flood. 598. Our heart, mind, can perceive the material world, Bodhi tree, and our soul, consciousness, is like a bright mirror which can observe how the heart responds to all kinds of phenomena. When reaching a state of enlightening, and perceiving the intrinsic nature of life, the consciousness can create millions of things and phenomena by itself. Thus it transcends all dust on the mirror, and reach the other shore of true freedom. 599. Women are beautiful for their softness which can overcome hardness. Soft beauty is neither cowardice nor a lack of will. It will neither be acceptable to everyone nor be bullied arbitrarily. On the contrary, soft beauty is an extreme strength from within. Soft sentiment is like water, it can wash away all dirt, drip through stones, and conquer everything. 600. Love is an attribute and a precious gift bestowed upon us by the greatest Creator. All love is pure, true, kind, and beautiful. The perfect man will sincerely love all ladies in the world, and the perfect woman will passionately love all gentlemen in the world. This is not being fickle, but a noble quality possessed only by celestial beings.